Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Skwela. So yeah, this is no longer a status update for this point of sale application. Although I titled this as a status update, but I'm just gonna going to discuss the stuff that I've missed for uh to discuss for this application. So I just want to talk about how I started this application. And so yeah, right now you're looking at the mockup that I've created using draw.io. But prior to this, let's me just share my OneNote here. So on how I started with this project. And so as you can see here on my OneNote uh, notes here, so I've started with the analysis part. So this comes in several phases. So the three main phases would be analysis, and then you have building the UI mockup, and then building the initial UI. And so I've missed the other parts when I've actually started working on the application. But anyways, so with the analysis part, I had to check on this Excel template, which is where the point of sale application was based off. And so this comes from that YouTube channel wherein it shows us the process of creating this point of sale Excel application. Yeah, so yeah, from there off, I started looking at the different sheets that are part of this template. And so yeah, and from there you can start seeing some patterns wherein each of these tabs would be considered as tables, and from there you can slowly create sort of a relationship between these different tabs, or uh, in database terms, they start to become tables. Okay, so going back here, I have identified the main functions for this application. So that would be like, yeah, again, adding sales order, purchase order, log in, log out of users, managing the orders, and then yeah, including searching of items, and going through the different stages of doing a sale. Okay, and so although I have identified all of these functions that would be part of the application, but some of them are not implemented with the current state of the application that I did. And so if you refer to my previous status update, that from there I have mentioned the stuff that I've missed or have not added or implemented for the application. Okay. Okay. So after the analysis page, I started to identify uh, the tables that would be necessary to make the application function correctly. Okay. So that would be the different categories. So you need to store the category, including its subcategory. Then you have your application defaults, and then your customers, vendors, and products, and most of all, the uh, recording of orders and its order items. Okay. Although I've also mentioned here that user management, but yeah, I didn't actually implement it as what I've discussed from my previous uh, update. Okay. So yeah, before we continue, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our video and channel. Okay. So moving on. So I've also mentioned that I've created an entity relationship diagram. So what does it look like? So this is the diagram that I've created for the application. So this one is what I've followed while creating the different parts of the application. So this one has already been translated into EF core entities. And so from there, that's where we start building up our application. So this has been done using SQLite and EF core migrations. And so I think the only missing parts here is the application defaults and then the user part, wherein we've never implemented this part here. Okay, so as you can see, the different relationships of the entities or tables, wherein mainly you have the orders that has dependencies for the customers, the vendors, and the products. And so apart from that, the order has several order items. So as you can see, you can track or trace through the different uh, relationships between these tables. So you have this, an order has one customer, one vendor, or an optional vendor or customer, and then an order has could have one or more order items, symbolizing this line here, wherein one on the order side and then one or more on the order item side. Okay, and then from there, the order item has dependency with a product, which means that an order item must have a product. Okay, so yeah, I think this is quite a very simple diagram. Okay, so after that, I start to build my mockup, which means that this is now the mockup that I've created using draw.io. Okay, so this is where I started to establish the different parts of the application, the general layout, and then the main layout of the post page. And so yeah, trying to s- follow what we have here on the Excel template, which is what we're basing off. Okay, so I tried to make it as close as possible to this one. So yeah, including this item selection from the buttons here. Okay, so with this one, I did actually implemented this on the application. So yeah, apart from that, the other stuff here, there's only two mockups: the main pause page and then this page for the supporting pages or tables. So you have this one for the customer, but it follows the same pattern for the vendors, products, and categories. Okay, so it's the simplest that I can come up with. So after that, then I'd start building up my initial UI, where I start the process of creating the project and then uh, coding the initial layout of our UI. Okay. So yeah, I think that's the only thing that I've missed or failed to discuss during my updates, because I immediately jumped to the discussing the features of the application. I was uh, building it along the way. Okay, so this is probably my final status update for this project. And so yeah, I think I've learned quite some different things from this one, especially implementing the this item selection UI. So it's quite tricky, but yeah, eventually I was able to manage to create the or this kind of UI selection. Okay, but yeah, I think that's the only thing that I want to discuss for this one. And yeah, please don't forget, if you have any comments, suggestions, or whatever thoughts that you have in mind, please don't for please feel free to do so in the comment section. And yeah, I think that's about it for this one. And yeah, stay tuned for any future videos. And as always, please don't stop learning to code. And uh, I hope to see you again in our next episode. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day. Bye.